Hello, friends. Today we are discussing the long-term trend. Now, this chart we are putting in a setting of Renko, one tick, 19 points, 19, 36, 72. You can get as bigger you want. Rankos are great charts for suppressing the time noise from the system if there is no move in the system that we don't move the price and we don't move the price, we don't move the indicators. So they gives us a smooth opportunities of trend detection. So here, uh, don't worry about this oscillator. So right, let me suppress this. So what do we have here? This fat line is the Vwap. And the yellow line is the moving average of Vwap. So is the white and so is the red. So what we are doing here is trying to eliminate the noise in the system and use the VWAP along with this moving average to detect what's going on. So let me put something here. So we have VWAP and you can put 33 moving average. It can be any kind of average, simple or exponential will do. And then we have 160 and then we have 200. Moving average is applied on VWAP, not price, on VWAP of VWAP. Okay, there we go. So that's all there is to it. Now, what we are trying to do is not trying to pick the top and bottom tick, which we can, but to see that if you want to trade an option here, USO, for example, vertical spreads or ratio spreads, back ratio spreads, whatever your intention might be, or just a blind contract on the CL itself, future options, or just future itself, or doing contango between the long and short term future, uh, or contango between the future itself or future options, right? So futures is better because you don't have to deal with time decay. Whatever the strategy is, we need to find the trend first. If you're holding something long term, and if you have a continuous chart for maybe like multiple years, then you can even make it even smaller. And smaller means, sorry, slower. So that's the idea. And tactical trading is can be done. There are some, but those things don't happen every day. They don't happen maybe even for a month. Maybe if you are interested in trading like maybe 5, 6 times a year, and you're long and short the oil futures at the same time, there are techniques to do that too. You can also go with the Brent oil versus American oil, and you can place a lot of hedges, various strategies. Uh, Gets pretty complicated, but at the same time very profitable and also very safe. That you're biasing the two instruments. It's like you're going in short and long at the same time of Tesla. How can you do that, right? Well, you can with the creative contango contracts. But anyway, so that is the tactical part of structuring your deals. Now we're talking about the trend. The biggest problem is trend detection, right? So we can assume that we are going to use this logic for trend detection. This is one of many. So here, this is what it is saying. Now, the two lines, as I said, is 160 and 200 EMA of VWAP. That is giving us, if the VWAP is above this or below this, it gives us a first strike sentiment of the trend. So if I say, where is your VWAP in this area? Where is the VWAP here? Is it above or below? So you have to look at two things, right? early signs will show up. Again, do this on Ranko. Early signs will be that VWAP is on top and holding above 33 pivot moving average. It could be any interest, you can play with these averages and go back and test visually and you will see, or you can write a program as well, right? All right, so it is giving us that, hey, potentially there is potential change of trend coming, but we don't know that yet until it crosses above this higher period moving average. So if it does, so then how do we trade it, right? So we look at the pivot breaks. So at this point, where's the pivot? Pivot is here, right? So if this point, pivot is here, pivot is, I want some pivot to break and hold. And here it is, it's broke and hold, right? So we are tracking this. We're tracking this from this area. Now the philosophy may not work or it may work. So this is a sideways action. We is holding, 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 and as you can see, the bias inside is coming to the long side. Now it has to break and hold. Stop loss is here and hold. You hold it, and you up $6,000 in 4 or 5 days, right? Swing. This is swing chart trading, or you can hold. There's multiple things on the internet you can check how to trade, but my point is finding the direction to trade. This might be a good approach to investigate. Now here officially it went up and closed above. So this is again a pivot break, right? So look for the pivot breaks first for long-term trading. Okay, so this pivot broke as well, and it comes with a confirmation that now the VWAP has broken above 160 and 200 EMA of the VWAP itself. Rest is all technical, refining the entry, right? So that's why I'm not showing you that. Don't have to worry about it. So this technique helped us make some money. Early entry, late entry. We got 68 all the way 71. 3 contracts is $10,000, right? In a few days. But that part should come later. First, you have to prove yourself. If it's happening in daytime, you can buy USO contracts. You can do vertical spreads. That's minimize your risk. Or you can do straddle, right? You can buy a 2-to-1 straddle back ratio. You can do as well, where you have 2 long calls and 1 put. Or you can, there you can do 20 things, right? How to structure the trade. Now here we are. This is again early part of it is going down. This is where it broke the pivot, right? This is also pivot. This is also pivot. Now this zone is not usable. We don't know that either. It could have gone down, but we know early part was here. Early entry was here. So let's take the early entry at the pivot breakdown because of this. And then if you do, you're successful. Then second entry came, pivot break of this low. Which never happened. This is why you need to have pivot breaks for swing trading take place, right? Okay, now it bent back on the top. So this time all the moving averages were crossed at the same time. So where's the pivot here? And this pivot is there, this pivot is there. So let's draw the pivots. Lines. Let's draw the pivot lines. And now this, it broke and it held. It already started to tell me that it's want to go long, right? So this is where we are. So early entry, late entry, confirmed entry, whatever, right? So it went. And here we had this low projected also. If you look at the Twitter, oil is going here and it went here when it was way on the top. That was the balance point. So we already had our other indications of the price targets as this is the bottoming opportunity, right? So then your bias should change. I will just go long. And this is how I'm helping you confirm the long bias in your tactical trading. So here we are. And we are long. Now this is per contract, $7,000, $8,000. 3 contracts is $30,000, right? So crude oil works very nicely, it swings nicely, but I'm just giving you an approach. Then you have to do other value area analysis and whatnot. If you want to get bigger with the bigger contracts, you have to look inside the bar, you have to look inside the order flow deeply. But anyways, so now let's look at this guy. So I hope this helps, right? So to take the direction with this VWAP. So it broke here, pivot is here. Don't think about in this strategy to pick the top, tick, and bottom. Those are different strategies. Different. There we go. You got some profit, but you're doing the right thing, right? You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Right thing. You get out here somewhere, right? So this, again, you have to project your targets. You can use Fibonacci, ABC, right? There are hundreds of things you can do. Maybe you want to do ABC, the A, B, and C, right? So 161, get out. Again, natural numbers, right? So you can do 161 extensions. You can do 127 extensions of ABC, this A high, the B, and the pivot here, C. Now, these are all technical things. They have millions of things on the internet. I don't want to go into this, right? So they pretty much, I just wanted to bring this to your notice that these possibilities exist here for a profit. Now you can apply this technique to anything I showed you. Now these are global principles. You can apply on Tesla. You may have to find out what is the volume chart you want to play with, right? And what is maybe the Renko chart for Tesla, or maybe things like that, right? So this is again very clear shot, right? Now I don't want to print it. Now you know what to do. It went down across 3. This is the pivot. Let it go up, break the pivot. There we go. So I hope this helps. The reason why we are using Renkos for trending on a larger movement, and then we know what to do with that, right? So A, B, and C, so I tell you 161. Now the other vibrations also going on, but you can see the trend. You caught the trend, right? If you have options, don't have to worry about it. At least that much. If you have futures, you have to worry about it, right? Now same thing here. It went up, it stayed up, long only, long only. So long only, right? So we catch this. So how do we make it better? It went up here. We need some pivot breaks. So pivot break is here. It is still long. It didn't break that pivot. Let it come down. We change the pivot to this break. This one you got it, right? Stop loss is here. Or you just have options. Let it play out. So you hold it, play out. You can add more. Now, if it changes the direction, you have to flip it or exit. You have to do that, unfortunately. None comes the oscillator in the end, always in the end. The trend is up. Yes, it is. Enter here, right? These are the areas. Now enter here. Now, any oscillator you may have interest. Now we are going in the direction of the trend. Now the pullbacks are working perfectly. Pullbacks here are working perfectly. So you cannot really do all this on 100 instruments. You just have to pick 2-3 things you want to trade, and then you master this, and then you get used to the vibration, right? So wheat, crude oil, commodities, right? They do good trends. They are seasonal trends. They trend. ES is more of a lot of noise. They hedge it. We do buying, selling programs. We hedge it for options. We hedge it for this. We do a lot of things, manipulation with ES. But that can also be done. You need different kind of deeper understanding of how to tame that ES intraday. So here short is activated. So you will just take short here, right? And short here. And then eventually short will not work for you. And then you have to just flip on the other side. So crude does good job in good swings. So we can see you can catch all the big swings. This again, it tried to go up here. There will be some losses also. Go down here, right? Early. So I hope this helps. This is what uh, is good to do. Same thing is also plotted on the price also. And this is where one things you will notice when the price crosses below, it will come back to test the VWAP or the moving averages. So now the trend is down. This is a pullback. This is, you can see here, is a short, right? Confirm down move. Let it come back to close to these moving averages. Oscillator is telling to go short, you go short. Same thing here. Trend has gone up. You want to be close to the VWAP now, right? Or the moving averages. All the moving average and VWAP closure came right here. Look at the oscillator telling us to potentially go long. It's also pivot support right there. So we have that going for us. These are simple, basic, very, very basic techniques. Nothing complicated. I think I just wanted to bring this to your attention. That Rankos and VWAP, and you make it slower, you can get longer term trends. If I make it even slower, this will be all captured, but you have to wait for pivot breaks. Thank you, and we shall connect again soon. Thank you.